there's a couple of ideas that I was wanting to chat about. First of all, I think Stephanie listened to this National Wake Up Call and posted something about it in her team group, Morgan Rieger or something. And she has like a new coach group. I'm not sure if that's the call that you listened to, but she's the one that mentioned like she has a new coach group where if people, did you listen to that stuff? Okay, that's the one that, all right. So I like how she said it, like that she kind of, this is from 4th of July. So it's from like 4 weeks ago. I'm behind on National Wake Up Calls, but I listened to it this morning. And she was basically saying that she creates a success club culture on her team. And what she does is when she asks people to post their success club points, she asks them to share who it is that they're helping and, you know, how did they find them? How did they figure out which program to get them started with? And why are they excited or something like that? Like to put like an actual name behind the number, which I really, really liked. I thought that was really cool. But what she said is a lot of times in like the bigger team group, newer coaches are scared to speak up. I don't know that we have that issue because I feel like our teams are still quite small. She probably is talking about her team group is like thousands, you know, in a group. So the newer coaches are looking at all those people in there and like, holy crap, you know. But like even my PS coach page is like 85 or something, or 80 or something. And then the Limitless group, I'm hoping to revamp that and make that like our combined team group when we get back from Summit. But we're all doing that kind of mastermind Zoom to determine what to do with that group and how we can move forward. So it's an idea. I don't know. Are you guys trying it? Did you open up a new coach group? Not yet? Okay. I mean, I kind of like it. The way that she explained it and how I understood it, I thought it was like a good idea. Maybe like eventually when the team becomes so big that it's like massive and it's scary. I feel like they're still small enough right now, you know, the little teams on the side to be able to keep them, you know, not feeling like overwhelmed.
I think it would be good for like when people are going through like the 7-day, like the initial 7-day to have like, you know, be there and until they get like their first free group done and to like just ask like a bunch of like questions that are just like they would feel stupid asking in the main group because we've all been coaches. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of a cool idea to have for the 7 days, like maybe like just your first month.
Maybe it would be cool to just be within in a group thread with the people that are in the 7-day with you. You know, whoever's running the 7-day can kind of lead the group thread and be the one to kind of be in there when they're leading the 7-day. So it's not like, you know, another group. My thing is just like, there's so many groups already. And then I feel like it's overwhelming the amount of groups that people are being added to. That's my only thing. You know, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I like the idea.
I just feel like threads, like if you miss a couple hours and the thread's like heated, it's like kind of annoying to go back through like 50 like responses. But like when you're in a group, you can kind of see it easier. But I understand because it's like, yeah, we are in like a ton of groups and running a ton of groups.
Yeah. And I feel like the group thread, I feel that there's like something about it that makes you feel like you're closer or something. Like you're kind of way of communicating in a thread. I feel like it feels more, personal than being in a group. That's what I feel when I experience. I feel like it's like there's like energy in the group thread that is not in a group. You know? Do you feel that too?
Yeah, I agree. It's just to me, when there's too many people, like if it's like, you know, 3 or 4, it's fine. But if you know, like the thread that you have with the Dash to Diamond, like, you know, if I missed a couple days, I was like, Jesus. So I eventually left because it was just overwhelming to me. Like I'm so far behind, I couldn't get caught up. But I do agree. People feel closer, they're chatting.
But you got, I mean, I guess I'm trying to look at it from a perspective of not you, like, because we're talking about new coaches here. They don't have, you know, 50,000 people messaging them on their Facebook like page, you know, like where they're trying to just keep up, like they don't have the same thing going on in their business as you do. So, you know, we have to kind of, I guess I think about it in terms of them, not in terms of me.
Well, then I think it would be great. I wouldn't want to lead that thread.
Right. So basically what I would think would be the best thing to do is whoever's leading the 7-day that week would be the one who would lead the thread. And so maybe 1 week a month, you're going to lead the thread. And then you just kind of have to be in there and you have to check it. And then that becomes something that's a part of your checklist, you know, like your bat, like you check the group thread just like you did, you know, any other thing. I liked it. I liked the group thread. I know that you're overwhelmed because you have so many people reaching out to you. I liked the group thread because I felt like I knew what was going on with them. I was encouraging them the entire time. Like I was in there and I didn't mind. I didn't feel like bogged down by it at all. I didn't feel like my personal business was suffering because of it. I also don't have a like page that I'm getting, you know, hundreds of messages a day. So, you know, there's a difference, but I felt like it was very important. So anyway, you know, whatever, toss around those ideas. Those are ideas. And the other thing that, what was the other thing that I wanted to talk about? I can't remember.
Well, I'd like to hear just from other people, like other coaches, what would you guys think about the group thread or
versus a group?
Yeah. Like what, I mean, you guys speak up because it's really more about like you guys, your new coaches too.
I kind of agree with what you said, Stephanie. I feel like if you miss a day, then it becomes overwhelming. But one thing I do like about that is being able to quickly leave voice messages. It's kind of nice to hear their voice.
I like that too.
You know, and to be able to talk back and forth that way instead of just typing, and just kind of being able to hear their voice and putting a voice behind the face. So that's been nice, but I agree with what you're saying. If it gets to be a lot, and for some reason, I mean, even if you checked it earlier, you know, and then at some time of the day, a lot went on, and then you check it on later, and you might have missed, you know, depending on what they're talking about, you might have missed 10 or 15 threads you're trying to get back through and try to catch up. So
yeah, I agree. It is a lot. I guess I thought it was doable for me, you know?
Yeah.
And I actually like enjoyed getting caught up. Like I was like, oh, this is like, I'm okay. Now I'm all caught up, guys. Like I know what's going on with you guys. Like I liked it. I thought it was great. But what about you, Kristen?
I liked it, especially with people that are in Team Aloha that, you know, I'll see on Team Aloha calls that I've never spoke with. So kind of getting their feedback. Like even with Cherie's how she posted and kind of provided the format of how she does with coach calls or, you know, coaching prospects. In general, I wasn't that overwhelmed with the thread, but I'll tell you, like, there were a couple of days that I was just like, oh, and I couldn't even look at it because, I mean, I'm talking, there was like 20-something threads that I don't, at that time, like, I didn't feel like I had the time to go through and really appreciate what people are saying, but I feel like that's specific to the individual, and I lost out on that conversation. Anybody who was engaged in that conversation, you know, they got something out of it, so that's just something that I missed out on because I didn't give it the time. But I think in general for new coaches, I would think it was helpful to get feedback from everybody.
I feel like if it's a 7-day, I don't know that there's going to be like 20 people in the group. We had like 20 something, or I don't know how many, but we had a lot.
The only time that I found that there was like a crap ton of messages and responses was when you would ask a question and you would want feedback or, you know, how everybody was doing, you know, and then people would start to respond, and then we would kind of counter that and say, oh, I had this go on, and what do you think? And then that kind of had the conversation going. But in general, it wasn't too bad. But that was when it got to be a lot, when I was like, I can't listen. But I mean, that was usually when it got to be a little bit too much. But again, if you're not paying attention to it, you're the one not getting something out of it, not the people who, you know what I mean? So I missed out on those two conversations. I have no idea what was talked about.
Yeah, and I guess I'm comparing it to Dash to Diamond, which in the 7-day, people aren't going to have a crap ton of questions. It might just be here or there, or
and it's not going to be as many. We had 20. We had like 20 plus in the Dash to Diamond one.
Yeah, like that's what I'm basing my like opinion on. So it probably would be good and very doable.
And here's another thing that you could do instead of doing one person leads. This is an option. Instead of one person leads everybody, you could do whatever coach, like you lead your own PS group thread. So maybe there's going to be 4, you have 4 coaches and Kristen has 3 and I have 2. You know what I'm saying? And then they're not all together though. I think they could benefit from all being together. But that's an option.
Split the days. Like if there's like 3 of us coaches have people in it, we split the days of the week. Like I do Monday, Tuesday, Kristen does Wednesday.
That's a good idea too. So that you don't feel overwhelmed for like 7 days. Yeah. I think 7 days of it is doable. It's not like the Dash to Diamond was also like a 6-week group too, So anybody else have input? Okay. All right. What was the other thing that I took notes on? I can't remember. I had something. Does anybody have anything? I was going to talk about Coach Summit, but I thought there notes on something else. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. Okay, on that call, she talked about the Success Club culture on her team. And I don't know how often she posts about Success Club, but I know that I don't do this. And because the reason I don't is because I tried. I heard these other coach calls where they're like, we do Success Club points and we create a document and then everybody puts their points on the document and then we, recognize them throughout the month. And I'm like, I didn't feel that was motivating for people at all. But the way that she put it is that she basically, asks them, the way that she creates a Success Club culture on her team is to have people share their Success Club points and then to ask them, those questions, like, okay, well, not just, to report their points, but then asks, okay, who is the person that you're helping? How did you meet them? How did you figure out which program to help them with? Like, this is for like newer people. The one that was for people that were seasoned was just basically who is it? Like, why are you excited to help this person? There was a couple of questions. The ones that she asked for like the new coaches was here. Hold on. Okay, who is this person? How did you find them? How did you figure out what program was best for them? How did you help them order? And then if it's somebody that's like seasoned, she just asks, like, say that they have like 6 Success Club points. Then she would ask, who are these 3 people and why are you excited to help them? So it's not just like talking about the points, it's talking about the lives that you're changing. And, what I've noticed in my own personal business is, that I didn't have a sponsor. So like the way that I teach is like, okay, here's how you earn Success Club, but it's there. People aren't feeling like, I've had a couple people quit that they just feel like, oh, it's all about these points and I don't like that. And I don't want to be a part, like I feel like I'm pushing products and whatever. So if there's a way for us to show more for them in the beginning to see that it's lives that they're impacting, then I think that's really important. So what I was thinking about doing is potentially, the Limitless group is going to be the combined total Team Aloha. Like everybody that's in the downline is creating a document in there and having people like enter in their Success Club points. Obviously, I'd have to be on, or like we can maybe do rotating weeks or something within that group too. To have people like post to remind people to put their Success Club points. Because another reason that it didn't work before was because I'm not consistent with like remembering to post every day, like, okay, update the document, or every week, update the document. Like I'm just not, it's not my strength, like to remember to do that. And I'll write myself notes and then I'll still not do it. So I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to, ways that we can make that effective for our team culture to be, focused on Success Club as lives change, and to, have people share so that we can recognize them as they go through the month, and not just, okay, you earn Success Club at the end of the month, but they're getting, they're getting recognition and getting encouragement throughout the month as they're earning the points. Ideas, suggestions.
What about like I know one of the calls talked about, and Kristen and I talked about this, where coaches check in like every Monday with like their Success Club points. So what if it was just like, you know, a day of the week, and maybe not necessarily like all the names, but like who's someone cool that, you know, just sharing a story of someone that you're excited about, like where are you at, and share one or two people that you're excited and why, like not necessarily like what are their names, where are they from, or like how did you help them, like same idea as what you're doing, just kind of general, and just a weekly check-in and like just sharing. Like
Okay.
I don't know that I'd be consistent, like constantly updating and like giving tabs on like all the people that I do. Like anytime like we've ever been in a training and it's like write down the names, I'm always like I've never done that, but again, I know I'm always focused on like what works for me. Maybe that works for other people. So that's just my 2 cents. I would be happy to share like, oh my God, I'm so excited about so-and-so because she loves to do triathlons. And I know this, like, I got excited about someone today because she's in the Army. She's having her 5th kid and she needs to be like a badass and she has to pass certain tests and she needs her endurance and all this stuff. And I was like, max 30 is for you. And I was like so excited because I knew this program would work for her and her goals with her training and what she needed. So like, that would be something I would share.
Okay.
But like, you know, her name's like, who cares? But her story is like what I remember.
Well, that's the point. It's not just the name. It's why are you excited to help them was the question.
Yeah. That's what I think is more important. Like, why are you excited to help this person? Like, what's your Success Club points and what's 1 or 2 people and why are you excited to help them?
That was the question that she asked. What are the names and why are you excited to help them?
It's breathing.
But the other question to me would be, how do we, I mean, I know that I won't remember to post it every Monday. I'm not going to lie. I won't.
So I have a thought.
Okay.
And this is just me, because this is honestly where I've been coming from lately, because I've been struggling because I'm like, oh my God, I have to reach SC5. My goal is SC10, you know, and I'm like so focused on these points. And it's like, people are not points. Like, yes, I want to grow, and that's how you build, is to reach these benchmarks. But I feel like starting off, you focus on people as points. It's like, it feels icky. So when I'm trying to teach people and educate and show them things, and I'm talking to people as their points, I'm God. So, I mean, I wonder even if you could focus on, you know, instead of reaching SC5 and SC10 as benchmarks, just changing the wording and saying our goal is to help 3 to 5 people each and every month, and kind of get away from the points. You can touch on them because obviously we need to know what that is. But night. But that
we can change the name to the 3 or 5 lives changed club.
And I'm saying that, like I said, because even for me, I'm like, oh my God, I got to get SC5. And I'm like so focused on points, and I'm so focused on other things that I'm losing track of. I'm here to help people. I'm not here to reach that. Like, I'm here to just help. And I feel like if I could personally just separate myself, and then it'll come. And then when I did, I'm like starting to help more people. So it's just a thought. And that's what is working for me, is kind of letting go of, you know, points, and everything else will come.
I know. So how do we do that? How do we, you know, make a Success Club culture, but not make it Success Club? You know, like, I'm open to suggestions and ideas. That's I think the key. The key right there is to make it, you know, to show them the importance of reaching this benchmark, but to realize that it's not about the number, it's about the lives.
Well, I mean, you can still talk about Success Club and the importance of it, but like, how many lives are changed? Like, I should be at SC6. So Kristen, I've changed 3 lives, like 3 people's lives are going to be forever changed and impacted because of the conversation that I had with them. You know, Stephanie, she's at SC, I don't know. But how many people, like, that is so profound. Like, if you hit SC 18 or 20, you have, like, dramatically impacted the lives of 10 people. Like, that's freaking huge. Like, not even paying attention to points. Like, you know, just how, like, you put your, you post to your page and stuff, how many lives we've touched and changed total. I mean, to me, that weighs more than points.
I understand that. So how does that translate into what we do within our team group to create that culture?
Just gear everything towards helping people, not points.
Okay, so what does that look like?
Yeah, because I feel like we do that. Because like,
yeah, so do I.
Yeah,
that's why I'm not getting where you're going. Like,
yeah, because like with her monthly post, she's already saying that. Like when I'm telling people like the way to earn free Shakeology is you need to help out 3 people a month. You need to enroll 3 people. Like I don't say SC points, so I feel like we're doing those things. So yeah,
you can't get her away. I've patted her butt over here. I thought that might be not.
So like, I guess what we're both wondering from you, Kristen, is like, so what would a post on the page look like that would make you feel like, oh, yes, this is cool. This is what I want to share in. Like, what does that post look like? Is that what you're asking, Marissa?
Yeah. What does the post look like? How often do we post it? How do we encourage people to comment on it? Like, yes, like I'm talking about the nitty gritty details.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just a thought that I had. So now let's move forward and brainstorm. What are your thoughts?
But that was already the thing. I feel like we all had already said that.
So like, I got a thought. So like,
okay,
because the site will say SC, when you look at your information. So maybe on ours, we say, SC5 equals 3 lives changed.
Maybe we can create an image then.
5 lives changed or something like that. So then new coaches will know, like, oh, I got to change 3 lives.
Stick figures, yes. We can put SC5 equals and put little 3 little people like there and make a little. Charisse
2.5 people. No, I was kidding.
Charisse will do that. Charisse is good at doing little images. So
when you know what, our check-ins can be on the iPhone. There's like little like people. Like you should be posting like
oh yeah,
so many people that you get instead of saying like I have 3 points or I have 6 points. Like you need to post like your people, like little like if it's a man, you post like a man's face.
Yeah, like little heads or whatever.
Yeah. That'd be kind of fun.
they could, we should make it fun, like a game, and then they could put the stick figure and then they could put equals, blah, 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 and write about the person after they put the little person, the little icon.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. Goodness sake.
I read your mind, Kristen. I knew where you're at.
Sometimes I just don't articulate things as well.
Yeah, basically, Marissa and I just heard you summarize what Marissa said. That's what we heard.
No, that's not what I was getting at.
Yeah, it is. It's you said exactly what I said. You just said it in a different way.
Well, then why were you asking my thought?
Because you're asking, like, okay, so how do we translate that into, like, a tangible thing? Like
the stick figure is the answer.
Like,
you should have came up with that 10 minutes ago before you asked.
I think I'm taking crazy pills right now. Seriously.
Well, we figured it out either way. We're doing stick figures, and with each stick figure, you post your story.
All right, so Charisse, image. I'm going to have Charisse do an image, and then she'll put a little, and then we can post the image. So now the other question is, every Monday, post about, how many lives are you at, and do we, my thought is and we'll move on to Summit soon, but my thought is to make the Limitless group where we'll set a schedule and have each leader lead a week. Like, we'll rotate leaders. So say, like, I'm 1 week, then Lisa's 1 week, Kristen's 1 week, Stephanie's 1 week, Celia's 1 week, like, all the way down the line. So we can literally have, like, and we have so many different coaches that we could have 20 people. So that's 20 weeks, and then you wouldn't have to redo another week until 20 weeks later. And hopefully by then we have new coaches. You know what I'm saying? So creating a schedule. So my thought would be that whoever's leading that week would be responsible for posting it on the Monday. What do y'all think?
I mean, I like it because it helps keep us engaged as well.
And then
whoever's us to slack off, the more we are involved as well. You know what I mean?
And whoever's responsible for posting it that week can be creative in the way that they post it.
What about having like sub leaders, like, because it helps, like Kristen and Lisa and Celia and like people below like the main leaders, because it helps them to become better.
That's what I said.
Okay, I didn't know like that would take me out of it. That takes you out of it. That takes like anyone that's running like a bigger team page out of it. And then it's like,
oh, you're saying not even have like me or you do a week? Okay.
I think because it helps build the people below us to rise up and become leaders by helping to lead this massive team page. Like it's kind of like a safety net because it's like within Team Aloha, but
well, maybe
kind of like how I have like Kristen and Celia take a lot of leads on my team page. Like they're freaking killer leaders. Like they're ready to just step out and kill it with a team now. You're welcome.
Well, I noticed on the wall that, so I asked, when do you guys think, leaders should break off and create their own team groups? And how do you keep them still plugged into the larger team? Because I feel like that's where I don't know. I've dropped the ball. I don't know how to like keep people still involved. So I asked on the wall. I made a little video, actually, a live video. And I was like, okay, I don't know, you guys, help me out. And like several people that I look up to said someone shouldn't be breaking off and creating their own team group until they're a 1-star diamond, like a stable 1-star, like star diamond leader. So they should have opportunities to lead within their own team before that. And I don't think I've done a good job of that, so now, and I liked that. I thought that was good. So my intention is for us to kind of hash that out in the leadership Zoom too, to kind of talk about, setting a schedule whose strength is to like say, okay, here's the weeks, now sign up for your week, because somebody can be the organizer of all of that. That's not my strength, but I'll do it if I have to, I think Sharice is good at those kinds of things, like organizing. So we'll talk about that on the Zoom, because each person is going to have, whatever ideas about that. So anyway, those are my ideas. We'll talk about that more on the leadership Zoom, and let's discuss Summit a little bit. I know, I've created several videos and posted them within the team already. So I know you guys have a good idea, but my suggestion is, just download the app, make sure that you're checking out which events you're going to be attending, and then just pack accordingly. During the day at the talks, like the opening general session, the general sessions and the coach-led sessions, yoga pants and, tank tops and little jackets, because it gets cold inside the rooms, layer, but it's going to be burning hot outside, so you're going to want to have layers. I am bringing like an iPad with a little typing a keyboard. I bought a little keyboard for it so I can type out notes. If you're a paper and pencil person or a paper and pen, do that. I just like to have it like, in Google Docs so I can refer back to it. So that's my thing. Let's see, what else? The opening general session and the celebration will be a little bit more, they'll be in all different things, but if you want to, you can dress up a little bit more. If you like to dress up, maybe some wedges or whatever, but there's no heels at the stadium, so don't wear heels. You're definitely going to be doing a lot of walking. So wear comfortable shoes. That's what I learned last year. I was just like, I don't know why, but I wore like heels to like 2 of the nights, and I was freaking hating it the whole time. It was miserable. So you definitely want to wear comfortable shoes, go for comfort, not style or whatever. A couple of things that you can bring your Shakeology on the plane. I'm bringing mine. My hotel room has a refrigerator in it. There's places you can go around that have grocery stores and stuff, especially if you guys are at the condo. There's a grocery store like right within walking distance. We went there last year. Joanne and I bought a bunch of stuff like so we could make sandwiches, and she bought like eggs so she could boil them and bring like hard-boiled eggs and stuff like that. If you want, you could bring a little cooler. If they have those little packets that you can, you know, put in the freezer and freeze, and then have a little cooler and bring with you. But there's going to be like places to eat. They're going to have like probably food trucks set up outside the session so you can eat in between. There's coffee shops around. You can walk to them. The lines are crazy out the door, obviously, every time you get out of a session or whatever. But if you go after the session has started, then you could get more likely to be able to get your coffee if you want one or need one. Let's see. The parties, is anybody going to the parties? The Success Club party? No? That's like the 80s party with Billy Idol.
Oh, I have an invite to that.
I want to go. I got my ticket. Well, I got the email, but I don't know how to use it.
Yeah, so you get a wristband when you get there. Whichever parties you got invited to, they'll give you 2 wristbands. It's you plus a guest. So you can bring whoever you want to bring, you know, as your guest. So lots of like what we did one year. The one year when we were in Vegas, it was like the first summit that there was actually anyone besides like me there. Like the first year I kind of went by myself. The second year, I think there was like 8 of us or something. And we had enough people that earned it and enough people that didn't. We got everybody in, you know, we had enough like wristbands to get everybody in. Now that the team is so large and not as many people are earning it, definitely aren't enough wristbands for everybody to get in. But that's probably at this point in my career, 5 years in, those are my least favorite part of the trip. But when I started as a coach, and it was like when I was brand new, that was like one of I was most excited about, you know, going to these parties and you get dressed up and then you look around, you see all these top leaders and, you know, but now I'm like, I could care less about any of that. I'm just like, I'm going to probably want to be in my bed. So I may even give my 2 wristbands away. I don't know. I'm not, you know, judging you if you're excited about the parties at all. It's just I'm a different, yeah. Stephanie's like, you know, she could care less about that stuff. So just do what's best for you. If you get the chance, that was one thing that I posted in my video. If you happen to be by a leader that, you know, you happen to bump into someone, not like if they're walking and you're walking in the other direction, stop them and be like, hey, can I ask you some questions? But like if you happen to be like standing in line, you know, with the leader or something, or you see them, you know, I don't know, sitting down or, you know, whatever, if you get the chance to go up and pick their brain, like do it, because that's how I learned the majority of everything that I learned in this business. Is just when I ever had the opportunity, I would just ask questions, like just ask and ask and ask and ask and just pick their brains, because, you know, I didn't have a coach to teach me this business. So for me, it was all self-taught. There was nothing. There was no system. There was no, you know, leadership. So I did that, but you're never going to be able to get them on Facebook Messenger, like answering your questions. But if you happen to be there in person and you have 5 minutes or 10 minutes to chat with them, they are, you know, really cool. And they know that people want to do that. And they are like Janelle Summers, you know, with Stephanie and I at the Cancun trip. She spent like 20 minutes, 15 minutes talking to us and telling us these resources that she had and things like that. So if you get the chance, you know, take it. Absorb as much as you can, but understand that it can also be very overwhelming. I know last year a couple people came back and they were like, they saw the recognition, like recognition after recognition of like elite coaches, and it didn't inspire them. It didn't make them think, oh, I'm going to be that one day. It actually like discouraged them, because they were comparing themselves where they were to all these people and being like, yeah, they can do that, but I'm never going to get there. You know, not saying that they quit, they're still around, but I remember one of my coaches who distinctly was like very discouraged after Summit. It wasn't uplifting for her. It was very lowering, which is about, you know, confidence and self-esteem and your own insecurities, really. And so that's where personal development comes in. So if you come home and that's you, no judgment, that's okay. Just go and dive into your personal development. Or if you're feeling that when you're there, dive into your personal development, because I still compare myself to people. I mean, I try not to, you know, I try to do the best that I can to like churn, like, not look at it. I looked the other day on somebody's page and I freaking was like, why do I always do that to myself? Because every time I go on her page, I just feel like I am never going to be that good. And it made me feel bad about myself. I obviously wanted to go feel bad about myself because I chose to go and look at her page. And I was like, why did I do that? Because it was just like I saw something that I'm like, oh, I'll never be able to do that. And then just, I felt bad. So I stopped following a lot of leaders. I stopped looking at a lot of their pages, and definitely just don't compare yourself to people. But if you do, it's okay. Just do your personal development and try to see them as, wow, they can do all that. I'm just like that. We're all the freaking same, you guys. We are the same. They're nothing special. Like they're a Beachbody celebrity, Beachbody famous, you guys. Being famous doesn't mean that you're happy, okay? A lot of these people, and I'm not naming any names or blaming anyone or judging anyone, but they're so ego-driven that they have to keep pushing so damn hard in their Beachbody businesses because the only way they feel good about themselves is by the validation of reaching a next goal or helping the next people because they're validated by it. And their ego is driving the car. And they're never going to be satisfied. It doesn't matter which goal they reach because their ego is so strong that they're just going to keep. And this was talked about on the wall. Tara Carr talked about it. She created a video and she's like, I was letting go of all my priorities because I felt like I had to keep going for this. And she wasn't spending enough time with her family. She was disregarding her kids because she was driven by something that was ego. That was she felt was fulfilling her, but it really never is. It's empty because you can't get your validation by reaching goals or helping other people. You have to get your validation by being inside of yourself, what's inside of yourself. So just remember that these people are exactly the same as us. We are all the freaking same. We all struggle with the same things. They all started as a coach just like us, and there's nothing special about them. Being Beachbody famous or famous in general does not mean that you're happy. So find your happiness within your business. Find what satisfies you and what makes you happy and do that. That's it. I can't think of anything else. I might, but does anybody else, do you want to have anything to share, Seth? I think you're the only one that's been to Summit before.
I used a hack last year for my phone, and I found that to be super helpful. I definitely used it. I brought all these like nice clothes, and it's so freaking hot that there is no point in trying to look cute because you're going to be a sweaty mess. Like at the opening ceremonies, oh God, it was so ungodly hot. But once you're inside, it's nice and air conditioned. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny because I'm a new coach and I don't get excited for all the big parties and stuff. Like, I'm good. I'll hang out with my coaches back at the hotel. I might give away my 80s thing to coaches that are more social than me. Or I don't know, maybe you guys will make me want to go. Maybe not. But I don't know, Kristen, you got your work cut out for you. I'm pretty non-social.
It's called I'm Just Gonna Drag Your Ass and You Like It.
I don't know. I'm definitely not inspired by the same things as others, but I definitely did not find Summit to be demotivating. I was definitely very inspired by the stories because they do start off by saying like, I was just a regular mom. Like I was a hot mess mom. So I actually found that very inspiring. Like, oh my God, like I have a chance. So I know everyone is, different, but I did find those stories like super inspiring because they do share their like normalcy before making all this money and being all like high up. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I like the trainings. I like the low key stuff. I'm excited for it. The core is awesome. I'm so freaking excited to go shopping because when I buy things off beachbody.com, they never freaking fit. Like I have got to try things on, even though I know my size, it always comes and it's like too big or too small. So I'm like so excited like to go to the core. It's nice. I'm going to load up on like prizes for my challenge groups because I don't know about you guys, but I hate freaking paying for shipping. So I'm going to load up on like 21-day fixate cookbooks because that's what I always give away. So definitely load up on stuff like that if, you give away Beachbody stuff for prizes. And Marissa, this was something I mentioned on my team call last night that I was like, oh, this is a really good idea. For newer coaches or just any coaches that are on a budget, free prizes. Like I had a post, it was like 2 days ago, where it was like a big box. John and I bought something, and I was like, whoever guesses this is going to get a free prize from me. And I made the free prize a invite to my 30-day paid group. Like they didn't have to actually purchase a program. They just got an invite to my paid group. Because everybody always wants to be in the paid groups, but some people are like, oh, I don't have the money, but I really want to do this. So I thought that was like a cool giveaway. And she was like really excited. So just a thought, wanted to share with people.
I'm muted. That's a good idea. I mean, for my free group, I did like a couple of Shakeology packets. Like I have a box of Shakeology. I mean, that's, like.
No, this was like a random shit on my page giveaway.
I know. I'm just saying, like, yeah, I'm just saying other things that you can do for simple things that aren't like expensive. You don't have to go out and spend a lot. You can send them one Shakeology packet. Good job. And then you just try Shakeology, and then if they like it, I always write a little thank you note or like a little, congrats for earning this prize. And I tell them, this is my favorite recipe for this flavor, like how to make it, and then.
Yeah, that's what I do in my free groups. I give away Shakeology in there.
I gave her 3 packets for my free group.
Yeah, Celia has badass buttons that she gives away.
That's funny. Badass buttons. So does anybody have questions? I mean, definitely the phone. This year I bought it's called a Jackery charger. It has 2 USB ports on it. And I think it charges the phone like 8 times before you need to recharge the Jackery, which is, it was only $20.
Where's that from?
I got it on Amazon, Amazon Prime. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm like, people are going to be trying to jack my Jackery. Like, they're going to be like, can I use your charger? Can I use your charger? I'm going to be the only one that has the charge left.
Are you allowed to bring in bags?
Bags? I think you are, yeah. Yeah.
Like a bag, cinch bags or whatever.
They'll search it. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know there's some rules about outside food and beverage. So if you're walking over to like the opening general session or things like that, probably anything at Bridgestone or Nissan Stadium, you probably can't bring in beverages. So if you have water, just down it, before you go in, or you're going to have to dump it. That's all. Or hide it really well. But I didn't tell you that. And make sure that you get your downtime too, because I come home from Summit tired. I don't come home fired. I mean, of course I'm fired up, but I'm also spent. It's a lot to take in. So just make sure that you're getting your downtime and resting. I've gotten sick twice, on 2 summits out of 4. Because it's just go, and I feel like I have to do everything. And then, some of the times when maybe people are going to the midnight shoppings, because I think at midnight you can get shopping in or something, and there's less lines. Maybe that if you're exhausted, maybe you need to not worry about that and just, do it another time and go get your rest, just listen to your body. Because you don't want to come home and be sick and then be like, oh my God, I want to use all this momentum in my business, and now I'm sick and I'm in bed for a week, and then that's going to cloud your summit experience too, because you came home and you were sick, so take care of yourself. Make sure you're getting enough sleep and getting enough rest and downtime and being by yourself. That's why I'm staying by myself. I don't know if I told you, but I moved out of my condo and I found somebody to fill my spot, and I'm staying by myself this year because there's no reason why. I can afford to stay by myself. It was only $150 more to stay by myself anyway. It wasn't about the money, and I live alone. I'm very used to my space, and I'm so excited about staying by myself. I just, where am I on it? Oh, Punta Cana. Anyway, that's my recommendation. And if you can ever stay by yourself, you know, do it, because I'm just like so pumped to like have my space to be able to go and relax and rest and not have anybody to answer to or anybody's energy in the room, because it's still energy, you know. I'm just gonna have my own energy and I can rejuvenate it when I go back to the room and be pumped, you know, be, you know, energy filled back in by myself, not like with someone and you're still having energy sucked out of you and put back into you from other people.
Kristen was asking, like, when's the cutoff to get off the wait list for Punta Cana? Like, is it December? Is it like
I have no idea. I don't know.
Surprised how slow it's moving. At this point, I was already off the wait list. That's like nuts, and there's like double the amount of people.
I don't know. I think like you're lucky if you get off the wait list, I think, for a trip. I don't know.
I was like 1,100 though on Cancun, or on the cruise. I was 1,100 on the wait list.
I don't know.
Nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know the answer to that. I think that you're going to be lucky if you get off the wait list for any trip. I don't know. It just, and maybe cruises. I don't really like cruises. So maybe I feel like less people like cruises than the other trips. So maybe more people are likely to cancel on cruises. I don't know. We have 7 more minutes before it's 9. So does anybody have questions or anything to share? Okay. Then we shall end the call. And, you know, if you aren't going to Summit, don't feel like, I mean, you don't have to miss out on it. You know, definitely you can be posting about that you're going to be there next year, and you can be sharing posts from your team and all that good stuff, and sharing in the energy, you know, and coming off of Summit and still using it to build momentum in your business. Of course it helps if you're there, but don't feel like if you're not going that, like, okay, that's something for them. It's still something for you to use momentum in your business. And also you can kind of inject that into your downlines too. Just because they're not there doesn't mean that they can't post about it. You know, they can share about that they're going to be there next year, and you can kind of help guide them as the things that they can post. And make sure you're, you know, posting a lot while you're there, but not just like, look at me, I'm here in Nashville at Coach Summit. Like Stephanie says, you know, so what? Like, why are you posting that? You know, explain to them, like, here I am in Nashville, and I'm just like surrounded by thousands of people that are super inspiring and motivating, and they're lifting me up like I've never been lifted up before. I'm so excited to be a part of this opportunity. I'm so grateful that I said yes, you know, to being a coach. And I get to not only be impacted by these amazing positive people, but I get to impact the lives of others too, you know, like, so you're showing people what it's about, you know.
Celia actually did a really good post about it. Celia, I don't know if you'd want to share it in Limitless, but she like posted her excitement and like had a picture of like Nashville or like countdown. I don't know. It was really cool, but she did it's a great example of how to post.
Yeah, share it into Limitless. I have that group set up for all posts have to be approved by an admin right now. Just because in the previous Team Aloha group, that's kind of why I closed it, because it was getting so crazy and people kept posting about all these different trainings that they were doing and like distracting and pulling away. And so we can discuss whether we're going to change that, but that's how it is for now. But I've been approving so far. Everything's been, you know, positive, and I've been approving everything. So just so you guys know. All right. Well, thanks for being on the call, ladies, and thanks for your feedback. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday or Thursday. And if not, I'll see Maria. I'll see you in December. All right. Have a good night. Thanks for getting on. Bye, guys.